السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. رب زدني علما، اللهم فقهنا في الدين، آمين يا رب العالمين. السلام عليكم إن شاء الله. I hope that all of you are doing well. So the topic for today is going to be the topic of consistency or istiqama as it is known in Arabic. So istiqama is from the word qawm, qaf waw mim, meaning to stand firm or to be vigilant upon something. So basically, it means to be consistent within something. So to grab something and then to stick firm with it. The reason why we are doing a whole topic of consistency or a whole lecture on istiqama is because this is something that is very, very important, especially as we come out of Ramadan. So as we know, we only have 3 or 4 days left of Ramadan. So it is very important that we have this consistency, that we have this istiqamah, so that our Ramadan can be beneficial to us. So, Alhamdulillah, we have made it through the month, but after the month of Ramadan, we have to remain consistent on the habits that we have built this month. So, this is the entire purpose of Ramadan. As we covered earlier in the series, that as we fast throughout Ramadan, this is a training for us that we do not need to rely on food, that we can fast throughout the year as well. As we get up early for suhoor before Fajr, this is training for us that we are able to get up for tahajjud. As we stay up for Taraweeh and we stand for long, long hours, this is teaching us that we are able to make our qiyam long, our standing throughout the night long. We are able to do so. We are able to do all 5 prayers. We are able to do our sunnahs. We are able to control our tongue, control our anger. We are able to abstain from haram. So this is what Ramadan teaches us. The entire point of Ramadan is to teach ourselves these habits. And it doesn't mean that right after Ramadan ends, the next day is Eid, and then we completely go back to our normal life. This is not what Ramadan is for. Ramadan is a training for us throughout the next year. So this is for us to start our year off, that this is our training, and then after this training, we must bring these changes into our life. And inshallah, we hope that we will continue these habits until the next Ramadan, when we can start to build even more better habits. So it is so important that after Ramadan, we have istiqamah, we have consistency. And there was a question that how do we know if someone's Hajj or someone's Umrah or someone's Ramadan is accepted? That how do you know that you have done these good deeds? But how do you know if Allah has accepted these good deeds or not? And someone answered that if after you have done these deeds, after you have done Hajj, after you have done Umrah, after you have fasted Ramadan, you come back and you return to the way that you were before you went, this means that it was not accepted. So for Ramadan, if you fasted Ramadan, you did the good deeds during Ramadan, and you want to know, has my Ramadan been accepted? Has my worship been accepted? Look at how you are after Ramadan. And if you go back to the way that you were before, this means that it may be that your Ramadan was not accepted. It means that your worship was not done to that criteria because you were not truly teaching yourself. You were not training your nafs. You were merely doing the actions. And if you were training your nafs, if you were building these habits, this means that even after Ramadan, you would have still continued with these habits. Not all of them, but at least some of them. If you are not able to pray 2 hours every night, a lot of us won't be able to do so after Ramadan. We cannot pray Taraweeh every single day. At least then you pray 2 rak'ahs after Isha for Qiyam al-Layl. If you are not able to get up hours before Fajr, you were not able to stay up the whole night, at least 5 minutes before Fajr, you can get up. You got up for suhoor, you can get up for tahajjud. And if you were able to pray all 5 prayers throughout Ramadan, you are able to do so outside of Ramadan as well. So this is a training for us and why it is so important that throughout this last week, we start cultivating habits of istiqamah, habits of consistency. And inshallah, we're going to look at what exactly is consistency and how can we develop consistency in our actions. But please, this is such an important topic. After we have done all of this work, we do not want that our Ramadan is wasted. That after we have done all of this work and trained our bodies for 30 days to do these deeds, that after these 30 days, we completely go back to our old lifestyle. This is not the way that Ramadan is meant to be. So, inshallah, let's go ahead and look at first the importance of consistency. We see that there are some ayahs that are mentioned about istiqamah. So, first, we see in Surah Al-Hud, فَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ وَمَنْ تَابَ مَعَكَ وَلَا تَطَغَوْا إِنَّهُ بِمَا تَعْمَلُونَ خَبِيرٌ. Sorry, إنه بما تعملون بصير. So be steadfast as you are commanded, O Prophet, along with those who turn in submission to Allah with you, and do not transgress. Surely He is all-seeing of what you believers do. So here this is a command given directly to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. فَاسْتَقِمْ كَمَا أُمِرْتَ. Stay steadfast as you have been commanded. No matter what it is that people are telling you, no matter how people are treating you, no matter what people are trying to do to you, no matter what people are trying to use to turn you away from Allah, fastaqim, remain consistent, remain steadfast on what it is that Allah has commanded. Along with those people who have turned in submission to Allah. وَمَن تَابَ مَعَكَ. So whoever is with you, the ummah that is with you, stick with these people. The ummah that you have found during Ramadan in the masajid, stick with these people. The people you saw always in the first row, always praying every single prayer in the masjid. Stick with these people and have istiqamah with these people. The group that you joined, the Quran group that you joined, stick with these people. The people that you met, the friends that you met in the masjid, stick with these people and have istiqamah. Be strong on what you are commanded to do. So this is a command given to the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. And when we look at the things the Prophet was going through, subhanallah, the way that people abused him and they were treating him horribly. And still he was steadfast on the religion. And we are not going through anything like that. We cannot go through anything like the things that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had went through. And still he was steadfast on his religion. So we have even less excuse to leave whatever it is that we are doing. And then we see in the next ayah, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا رَبُّنَا اللَّهُ ثُمَّ اسْتَقَامُوا تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ أَلَّا تَخَافُوا وَلَا تَحْزَنُوا وَأَبْشِرُوا بِالْجَنَّةِ الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ. And surely those who say, Our Lord is Allah, and then they remain steadfast, the angels descend upon them, and they say, Do not fear and do not grieve. Rather rejoice in the good news of paradise which you have been promised. So for the person who believes in Allah and he says, I believe in Allah, he has said the Shahada, and then he remains steadfast on the Shahada, he remains steadfast on the religion of Allah, then for him is going to be angels descending down upon this person. And they will say, the angels will say to this person, don't fear and don't grieve. Don't be scared of what's going to happen and don't grieve over what has happened in the past. Don't be scared and don't grieve. Rather rejoice in the good news of paradise. Whatever it is that you have been through, forget that. You don't need to grieve over that because Allah will give you something so much better. وَأَبِشِرُوا بِالْجَنَّةِ. You are being given the glad tidings of Jannah, of paradise. الَّتِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ. That you have been promised. Allah has promised Jannah for you because you were steadfast on your religion. So we see from this that for the person who does good and then is steadfast upon that, he did good during Ramadan. He did everything he was supposed to during Ramadan. But after Ramadan, he is steadfast, then upon him angels will descend and they will tell him, don't be in fear of the future and don't grieve over the past because Allah has promised you the good news of Jannatul Firdaus. May Allah make us amongst these people. We learn from the hadith, take up good deeds only as much as you are able. For the best deeds are those done regularly, even if they are few. So for some people, they get this sudden encouragement that, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to read this many juz and pray this many rak'ahs, I need to pray all 20 tarawih the first night of Ramadan. And you'll see that they start doing something and they get so exhausted and they realize that, I can't do this. And then they leave everything. So instead, the advice that is given is that you take up as many good deeds as you are able to do. Instead of saying, I'm going to finish like 10 juz in one day, you know you're not going to be able to do this. So instead, you take up as much as you can do as long as you are doing it regularly. As long as by the end of the month, even if you do one juz, as long as by the end of the month you are continuing every day to do that, then this is better for you than you doing one deed for only one day and then never doing it again. So instead of spending only one day praying all night and the rest of Ramadan you don't do anything, it is better for you every single day to pray only 2 rak'ahs. And we learn from this that even throughout the rest of the year, now during Ramadan you did do this. You took up this initiative that you went to Taraweeh every night, you prayed all 5 prayers, you read however many Qur'ans you were able to read. You may have done this during Ramadan, but if you make this goal that throughout the year I'm going to be doing just as much as this, and then literally first week of Shawwal, then you get tired and then you leave it. And you say that, I can't do this anymore. I'm just not going to do anything. So it is better for you to make a goal that is achievable and to say that, I can do half a juz a day. This is something that seems doable to me. Half a juz is, I can do this. So you doing half a juz every single day is better for you than doing 10 juz in one day and then never doing it ever again. Because then you are getting a reward for reading the juz, and then you are also getting reward for doing something with istiqamah, with that regularity, that you are doing it every day, even if it is a little bit. So for someone to give $100 just once in the year, is that better, or for someone to give one penny every single day? Because this person is consistent. Even if he's only giving one penny, he is still doing something consistently. So the deeds that are few, but they are done regularly, are better than the deeds that are done by a lot and not done enough. So we also learned when we were talking about the prayer as well that it is always the quality that matters, not the quantity. So the quality of what it is that you are doing is better than the quantity. So for your plans for after Ramadan, a lot of us have made these plans that after Ramadan, I'm going to continue doing this, inshallah. Do as much as you are able and do what you know you will be able to do. If you set your goals too high and you know yourself, you know I am not going to be able to. I can't finish one juz. I can't pray 20 rak'ahs after Isha. I cannot get up an hour before that before Fajr for tahajjud. I can't do this. You know yourself. Then at least 5 minutes before Fajr, you can get up and you can pray at least 2 rak'ahs. 2 rak'ahs compared to all that tarawih that you have been doing, it's nothing. And this makes it more doable for you. And if you are able to do more, then by all means do more. This is not a limitation. This is not saying that only do a little bit. If you are able to do more, then do more, as much as you are able to do, as much as you know you will consistently be continuing to do throughout the year. So whatever it is that you are able to do, just make sure that you will be able to continue doing it regularly and that you will not leave this deed, because that is the best form of deeds. Salama reported by the one who took the Prophet's soul, meaning the whoever took the Prophet's soul, meaning Allah, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he did not die until he prayed most of his prayers sitting down. So when the Prophet ﷺ died, he prayed most of his prayers sitting down. So meaning that he was so sick, or for some people as well, that when they get to this age, they are not able to stand and pray. But it was mentioned that the most beloved deeds to him were righteous deeds that a servant performs regularly, even if they are easy. So something that is so easy that you do every single day, this will be a source of ajr for you. This is the most beloved thing from Allah. So it may be that, one day you go all out and you spend so much time doing something. And of course, Allah appreciates all the efforts. Allah is appreciative. وَكَانَ رَبُّكَ شَكُورًا, that He is appreciative of you, that your Lord does know what it is that you do, and He will reward you for your good deeds. But something that is more beloved to Him is something that is easy, but you do every single day. So it may be easy for me to put my shoe on with the right foot first. This is the sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, that he would always put the right shoe on first. Now, it may be that this is something that is so easy, but I do it regularly. Every time I put my shoes on, I always do this because I know it is the sunnah of the Prophet. Now, it's very easy for us to sit down and drink water. This was the sunnah of the Prophet, and still I do it every day. And it may be that this thing is more beloved to Allah because I am doing it regularly. So do not diminish any of your deeds and say that, it's too small, because if it is regular, it is something that is most beloved to Allah. And then we learn in another saying that Bishr ibn al-Harith said, "Do not give into anything due to fear of being blamed by the people." So sometimes it may be that we are doing a deed and people do not like this, or they say that, that's weird that you're doing that, you should leave this. Or it may be that every single day you go for Isha prayer, for example, in the masjid, and one day your friends say that, we should go out instead, and they try to deter you from this. So he is saying that don't give into anything due to fear of being blamed by people. That if you are consistent on a deed, stand for this deed, continue doing it, unless of course there are certain situations where you're not able to do so, where you literally just don't have time, or you are not able to do so. That's a different situation. But if you are able to do so, then continue doing so, and don't let fear of the people stop you from doing what is better. And then in another hadith, we see, "O Abdullah, do not be like a man who would stand for prayer at night, but later abandoned his night prayer." So here we see that there is a person who used to pray tahajjud. He used to get up for qiyam. He used to pray at night. He used to do it. But then he abandoned it. And this is the case of many people after Ramadan. Many of us stand for prayer at night, but after Ramadan, they abandon it. So do not be like this man who has done something consistently and then he just leaves it. So don't be like this person when Allah has guided you to what is right. He has given you tawfiq, He has given you the power to do what is right. And you are doing it. You did it. Don't be this person who leaves it after Allah has given you this guidance. We say, رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً. Ya Allah, do not deviate our hearts after you have guided them. After you have allowed us to do a good deed, we ask Allah that He only allows us to increase after this and never decrease the level of good that we do. And then we see Abu Amr Sufyan. He said that, O Messenger of Allah, tell me something about Islam which I could not ask anyone except for you. And the Prophet ﷺ answered, say, I believe in Allah, and then stand firm and steadfast. So we learned this in the previous ayah that we covered as well, that the best deed for you to do is to say, I believe in Allah, and then you stand firm and steadfast on this. So being steadfast on the religion of Allah has so many benefits, and this is the best thing about Islam that you can do. Standing firm and steadfast on your good deeds has so much reward. And we see that this is the most beloved deed to Allah. The one who is steadfast on his deeds has the most reward and he is the most beloved according to Allah. So, according to Ibn al-Qayyim, there are 5 conditions to achieve istiqamah or consistency in performing required deeds. So, here this is talking about the fara'id, the fard things that we have to do, but this can be applied to other things as well. Number 1, the act should be done for the sake of Allah alone. So, when you know that whatever it is you are doing is for the sake of Allah, this will give you consistency in your acts. So, for example, if you are struggling with your 5 daily prayers and you know that I am only doing this for the sake of Allah. Now, I don't care if I'm in the masjid or if I don't care if I'm at home by myself. I am going to be praying the same way. Some people, when they're with their friends, they pray their prayers. You know, it's time for Maghrib, everyone's praying, I'm going to go and pray too. Or sometimes people stand up next to other people in the masjid. And you know, the lady next to me, I know her, she's always at the masjid. So that's why I'm going to be praying with a lot of khushu'. I'm going to be spending so long in tashahhud. I'm going to be spending so long on my salah. And then when you get home, you don't pray in that same way, or you don't even pray at all. So when you know that you are doing it only for the sake of Allah, and that Allah is watching you no matter where you are, you have ikhlas, you are doing it only for Allah alone, this will give you istiqamah of your deeds. Whether you are with people or whether you are alone, you know that Allah is watching. Therefore, you must do whatever it is that you have to do because Allah is watching you. It should be done on the basis of knowledge. Now, when you know the good deeds that are mentioned, you know that this is something that is fard for me. You know that Allah has mentioned the prayers in the Quran. He has mentioned hadith in the Quran, and He says that for the person who doesn't pray is this. You know that it should be done. You have ilm, you have knowledge, then this is also going to give you istiqamah because you know for sure this is from the Quran and from the Sunnah of the Prophet. Number 3, performing ibadah should be in the same manner that they have been commanded, meaning that if you are doing it correctly, this will give you istiqamah as well. When you start to do bid'ah and add things and do things differently than Allah has taught you, this is going to take you away from istiqamah. This is going to take you away from consistency. You should do it in the manner that has been commanded to you from the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet. Number 4, to do it in the best way possible. This is going to give you istiqamah. Now, if you pray and you are literally just going up and down and you are not even reading any surahs, you read the same surah over and over and over again every single time, you are not doing it in the best way. But when you pray in your best way possible, you pray and you have khushu' and you do it from your heart, then you won't want to get that feeling back. You want to go and pray again because you love to pray. You loved doing that. So you will want to go back and then do it again in the best way possible. And this will encourage you to have istiqamah and then to go back and do it. Now, if you pray or you do a good deed and you don't do it properly, you're not going to get any love out of this. You will not feel that anything changed. And then this is going to be like, okay, well, nothing changed. So then I'm just not going to do it anymore. So when you do it in the best way, this will encourage you to do it again next time. Number 5, restricting oneself to what is lawful while performing those deeds, meaning that you don't do anything haram, because as you do more haram deeds, then this will take you away from your good deeds. So we learn that for the person who prays, this will prevent him from doing bad. So if you pray, it will prevent you from doing more bad, and if you are not doing bad, this will help you to pray. So it's kind of a cycle, and the moment that we start doing sins, this means that our prayer is suffering. This means that we do not have istiqamah in our deeds. So we should make sure that we get rid of whatever it is haram, and this will help us have istiqamah. istiqamah. So if you are trying to be consistent in your prayers, you don't pray all 5 times, or for anything, you are trying to be consistent and you are doing a sin alongside it, that is going to severely hinder you. It is going to make it more difficult for you to do that good deed. So it's important that if we want to remain consistent, we remove the sins, and then this will make it easier for us. And then we have some steps to achieve istiqamah. Number one, always being aware of the final destination, meaning Yawm al-Akhirah, the judgment day. You know that you will answer to Allah. You know that after you die, this is the last chance that you have to do good. And we learn from the hadith, if you live until the morning, do not wait for the evening. And if you live until the evening, do not wait for the morning. We always do this. I'm going to start tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. I'll start praying Tarawih tomorrow. I'll start doing tahajjud tomorrow. I'm tired today, but I'll do it tomorrow. Don't do this. If you live until morning, do it then. Don't even wait for the evening, because we don't have a guarantee. People pass away so fast for reasons that we don't even know. People pass away in their sleeps and they don't see the next morning. So it is so important that we don't have this expectation of life that, I'll do it even in the next hour. Do it now. If it's time for the prayer, go and pray, because you don't know if you will make it until the next prayer. So it is so important that if you have the time, do it now. Keep this awareness that once I pass away, this is it. I cannot do any more good deeds, and I need to prepare for this day, and I need to be aware that on Akhirah, on the day of judgment, I will be answering to Allah. And this will give you istiqamah. This will help you remain steadfast, because you know that if I don't do it now, I will not get a chance later. If I miss this prayer, I can never make it up again. The prayer is gone. You can do qada, you can make it up, but it is not going to be the same reward as if you had prayed it on time. So don't wait for time to pass by. This will give you istiqamah, because you know that this is your only chance. You do it now or you don't do it at all. Because once you don't do it, then basically it's gone. Even if you do a make-up prayer later, it will not be the same thing as you having prayed on time. And then another thing is a commitment. So one has to make a commitment that he or she will be steadfast and will do things in the right way and in the best way possible, and to adhere to the rulings of Islam. So make this commitment. A lot of the times we don't make commitments to do good. We say that, I want to do tahajjud, but you don't make a commitment. You don't set your alarm. You don't say that, inshallah, tomorrow I will get up for tahajjud. I will do this. I will pray all 5 prayers tomorrow. We don't make this commitment. We say that, like, I have to pray. Okay, I know this, but you don't make this commitment. So make this commitment and say that I will do so. May Allah make it easy for me to do so. May Allah give me tawfiq to do so. Make dua and make this commitment that you will do it. And then also, then after you have made the commitment, you make continuous effort, mujahada, to bring that commitment to reality. So if I have said I will get up for tahajjud and then I don't even set my alarm, I am not making any efforts. If I say that, I will pray all 5 prayers and then I don't even try to go pray, then this means I am not doing mujahada. So I have to do both. I have to make the commitment, and then I have to make the effort to act out on this as well. Continuous checking and reviewing of one's deeds, muraqaba, meaning being honest with oneself, so to not give false excuse for failing to fulfill a commitment. So a lot of the times people will say that, I was too busy, I was too tired, I wasn't able to do it, or that day I was, I just didn't have any time at all to do so. So checking and reviewing your deeds and seeing what was I doing during that day. This will give you istiqamah, because then you realize that I did have time. Yesterday I said I was too busy. I didn't have time to read Quran. I didn't have any time at all. But then I was sitting and going on my phone for like an hour. But then I sat and then I just just like I woke up so late too. I could have woken up early, or I could have gone to sleep earlier, and then I would have been able to get up for the tahajjud. So you realize that when you check your deeds, you were able to do so, but you just didn't do it because of an excuse that you made. And then sometimes it may be that there is a valid excuse, that literally all day you just really did not have time. And then in that case, then you would say that, I wasn't able to do it yesterday, but today I will do it. So this will help you from making any false excuses to basically justify why you are not able to do whatever it is that you committed to doing. And then similarly, having self-accountability, muhasaba, meaning that you are checking yourself. And if you are not checking yourself, at least kind of like blaming yourself in a way that I was not able to do so, and this was my fault. Because I did this, I was not able to do so. And this means that when we start doing something, we ensure that it pleases Allah. We do it for His sake only. We realize the right way it should be done, meaning that we are checking our intentions. We are having that self-accountability, muhasabah, that I am doing this for the sake of Allah. I'm doing this for the right intentions. I'm doing it in the right way as well. And then after we do the deed, we check whether we have achieved what we aimed for. So when I said I was going to pray tahajjud, did I pray tahajjud? Did I pray properly? To check for defects and shortcomings, and that we still could have done it better by not being satisfied with our actions. So it is so important in Islam that we are never satisfied with our deeds. Some people will do the bare minimum and say that, this is enough for me. This will get me to Jannah. We should never think in this way. Even the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ never thought that his deeds were enough. Even though basically he was guaranteed paradise, we know the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ will be given paradise. We know this. There were the 10 Sahaba that were promised paradise, and still they never once assumed that their deeds were enough. And on that day, everyone, including the angels, will say, "Ma abadanaka haqqa ibadatik," that Ya Allah, we did not worship you the way that you deserve to be worshipped. Every single person will say this to Allah on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Even the angels who were created to worship Allah will say that we have not worshipped Allah the way that He deserved to be worshipped. So never be satisfied with your actions. Always think, how can I do more? Now I have prayed my prayer. I have done it. How was my khushu in that prayer? How was my concentration? Was I thinking about anything else? What can I do to make this better next time? Or yeah, I did read a surah, but how long was my qiyam? How much was I focused on this surah? Yeah, I did make dua, but how was my dua? Was I making dua for other people as well? Or was I following the etiquette of dua? What was I making dua? Was I only making dua for dunya, or did I make dua for akhirah as well? So always think about how you can improve and hold yourself accountable for the deeds that you have done. And then also taking yourself accountable for not doing it well after it has been done. So you aim for improvement. You always have this thinking that I have to do better next time. And you have the intention as well. Don't settle. Yeah, I had prayed. Okay, next time I'll pray like this too. Like it was pretty fast. I can just do this next time. Don't do this. If you know you have done a deed and you did not do it well, then make sure you make this intention that you're going to do it even better next time. And this is going to also lead you to making another commitment and doing continual commitments to improve our performance. So if you know that, this time I didn't do that well, next time I have to do better, then this is encouragement for you to pray next time, for you to do that deed again. Today I wasn't able to read that much Quran, but tomorrow I definitely will read it. Now, this is making a commitment that tomorrow you will try to do better. And then you always strive for improvement as well. Tahseen. Tahseen means to beautify, to do something to the best way that you can. So we have to make improvements in all that we do. So daily activities, work, actions, good deeds, ibadah, whatever it is, this should be our objective. Again, a Muslim is never satisfied with his deeds. No matter how much you have done, always think, how can I improve on this? How can I have tahseen? How can I beautify what it is that I am doing so that it is the best action that I could ever possibly do? And we have never ever, and we never will be able to reach true level of tahseen. No one will be able to do so. This means you always have room for improvement. So whatever level you are at, you can always do better. So have this in mind. And this doesn't mean stop trying, like, oh, like I can't even be tahseen. I can't have perfect salah, so I'm just not going to pray. No, this is not what it means. This means that because we are human, of course, it's not going to be perfect. As humans, we cannot be perfect. But because of this always means that you have room for improvement. So wherever you are at, get to the next level above that. And then be humble towards Allah. Realize that no one is perfect. You may make mistakes. You have off days. Life happens sometimes. But this does not mean that because this happened, I wasn't able to do it one day. I was menstruating, so this week I wasn't able to pray. And then, after that, I'm just not going to pray anymore. Don't think like this. People are not perfect. You are not perfect. Life is not perfect. The only one that is perfect is Allah. So when you know this, when you know that only Allah is perfect, then even when things happen to you in life, you know that you are going to get up and continue trying your best. No matter what happens, you try your best. And then also you ask Allah, you seek His forgiveness, you seek His guidance, you seek His support. You say, رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا. That Allah, you have guided me to this. Don't deviate my heart. We make dua that the good that we are doing, allow us to increase in this good. Do not take us away from this good. And Ya Allah, do not take our lives until you are satisfied. And we make dua that when we die, we only die as a Muslim and we only die at the highest part, the highest peak of our faith. The most that we will possibly do in our life, we ask Allah to take us in that moment and not in any other moment. So we make dua for tawfiq as well, that Allah makes it easy for us. That Ya Allah, please help me get up for tahajjud, help me get up for fajr. Ya Allah, give me istiqamah, and Allah will give it to you. So make these du'as because Allah gives it to the people. When we sincerely ask Allah for something, He does give it to us. So we make dua that Allah only takes us when He is the most pleased with us, that He gives us us tawfiq and istiqamah, that He gives us the ability and efforts to continue doing whatever it is that we did during Ramadan, that we do not go into a zawal, that we do not decline, that we only go higher and higher and higher, and that Allah does not allow us to be one of these people who do so much good and then become one of the people who do not do any of this. So we learned that there's that man who used to pray and then he stopped praying. So may Allah never make us amongst one of these people who are guided to the truth and then taken away from this. We ask Allah that He only allows us to improve more and more, and that we get as close to tahseen, to beautification of our deeds as we can, and that He accepts our efforts and continues to give us more opportunity to do good. Inshallah, we will stop here for today. Jazakallahu khairan kathiran. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.